friendly friends, and welcome to Reddit Stories, where we're going to take a look into the crazy antics of people who aren't us. Joining me today is my permanent co-host, Darling. Darling, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone.
Darling, are you familiar with the subreddit, Am I the A-hole?
I am, because I am a perfect person, and I like to go online and read how other people are bad to remind me that I'm perfect.
That sounds like a healthy use of your time.
That sounds like what everyone uses Reddit for.
Alright, well, today we're just going to look at the top rated Reddit posts, Am I the A-hole posts, and we've got some doozies. So are you ready to just dive right in?
Let's do this.
Alright, today's first Reddit story. Am I the a-hole for trying to seduce the Reaper so that it spares my child's life? Any thoughts?
Now, by the Reaper, are we talking about, like, a farmer? Are we talking about a serial killer? Or the anthropomorphized manifestation of death that we all know?
I think it's the anthropomorphized manifestation of death. I think that's typically what people use Reaper for.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to seduce death to keep it from taking their child?
Yes.
I need more details.
Alright, let's get into the story. My husband yelled at me because I was being flirty with the Reaper, but I was just trying to protect my child from death. I mean, okay, yes, the death maybe is my fault. I guess putting them in a room with no doors is not the best idea. And okay, so maybe I did it more out of guilt than care. And maybe, just maybe, I have been getting tired of my husband who just works or is in the bathroom all day, every day, and so maybe I have been fantasizing about the Reaper for a while. So there could be a possibility that I put my child in that room with no doors on purpose just so I could finally meet this tall, dark, and handsome Reaper. But I mean, am I the a-hole for pursuing my interests while also protecting my kid? I think not.
I have thoughts.
Oh, go on.
I think this person is the a-hole. And here's what I mean by that. It seems like they are taking their frustration with their husband, who, some guys just go to work, then go to the bathroom, then go to work, it's a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But you gotta have open communication, and instead of actually communicating about the issue, you decided to take it out on the child, right? Instead of addressing things with the person who actually deserves it, you said, I'm gonna use this spawn as a pawn, and use this to maybe meet somebody new. But I think that's you're putting the consequences of your own frustrations onto the wrong person. I think death being there is almost secondary at this point.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think this person, I think you can tell in the writing how they write this, that they know that this was a premeditated act. I like the various ways that they spelled maybe. You can't see it because I'm the one reading the tale, but one has a capital Y in the middle, ones are all in caps. Like it comes across clear that this is a person who probably has a problem with communication, and they haven't been able to communicate with their partner properly, and so instead of telling them that, hey, this marriage isn't working out anymore and I think I need to make a game plan on custody with the kid and being able to go out and move on with their lives, they kind of took it to kind of an extreme. So
you bring an interesting point up there. How does custody work if the child is in a room with no doors? Do you just gain ownership of the room?
I think you first part of custody is the parent. This parent, they don't have a specified gender in here, so I'm just going to assume wife. This wife seems to would probably need to buy a door first as part of the settlement before they are able to hash out the rest of the divorce details.
A good lawyer would call you out on that as well. Quick question. What are death's pronouns? Because I have another point I need to make. Are we going with it?
I think death is a they, them.
Okay. I think OP also needs to learn to respect boundaries. I mean, I get it. We've all heard about death. We've all had our own fantasies about death. I fantasize about death very frequently, to which my lawyer and therapist think is unhealthy, but, everyone has them.
Yes.
But they're on the job. You're flirting with them when they're on the job. That's not appropriate.
That is a great point.
You don't hit on, like a barista or a barrister, which is, I think, another word for a lawyer, but should be someone who provides coffee, right? It's like, this is, if you really want to pursue death, maybe do it like on your own time and on their own time, Don't put them in that uncomfortable situation where they have to choose between a romantic relationship and their job.
That's a great point. Let's look at some comments.
Okay.
The top comment, you're the a-hole, the Reaper is mine. Ooh, the Reaper, it may not be single.
Oh, okay. Even the reason that you need to approach them as a person, not as a professional figure,
Correct. OP responded, poofed, please, I would be careful or else you might end up in that doorless room and you won't even get a toilet. Oh, this is definitely a combative OP. Very combative.
They're not making their case here.
Yeah, next comment, info, did it work? OP responded, protecting the kid or getting with the Reaper, because no to both, the kid died and the Reaper rejected me, but 3 times the charm, so I guess I gotta retry with another kid.
I see, okay. This brings to light something I did not know. This is why they're still with the husband.
Yeah.
They gotta go. This is take 2, I guess, so we gotta go for round 3.
That is... See, they're burying the lead in the comments. That's a key thing a-holes do, is bury that lead. Because had we known that the kid was already dead, that it didn't work, and the Reaper spurned their advances, I feel like...
Yeah, if I had known this was a plot to get to the Reaper the whole time, then the question shouldn't be, am I wrong for flirting with the Reaper to protect the kid? The question should be, am I wrong for, having kids? In which case the answer is 100% yes. No context needed.
Next story. Am I the a-hole for peeing in front of the TV? That's a great opening. You know what? Like, that implies there's so many possibilities that could happen from that statement. I think it's a good title.
My gut's saying no, but I do want to hear them out.
For reasons unknown, I couldn't reach the bathroom when my bladder was low. I ended up going and leaving a puddle in the living room. To make it worse, this was at my sister's house. I'll call Janine. I did get to the bathroom to clean up, but when I came out, I saw Janine's husband on the floor next to the TV. From what I assumed, the TV was in need of repairing for a while, and her husband went to fix the TV. Except he was on top of the puddle of pee that I ended up leaving when he fixed it. He got electrocuted. Janine wanted a new TV for a while, but her husband says it still works, despite it being the cheapest. He had to repair it multiple times, but this one would be his last. No one but me knows where the puddle came from, and I'm too embarrassed to even tell Janine. Is any of this my fault? I think this is a classic.
I was right that you're not the asshole.
This is... Look, you can't control what other people do when, the situation they get in.
Yeah, and they were setting themselves up for failure. You making a little piss puddle in the living room did not break the TV, right?
Yes,
you did not put them in that situation.
True. Yeah, they chose to be have a dangerous hobby. They chose to do something that seemed very not what's the word? I'm trying to find the word. You shouldn't do it. There's a better word for that. There's a fancier word for that, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yes, yeah, no. I think this is something you keep to your grave. Do not tell Janine. It'll just make your relationship with your sister awful. Like, I do think this might be something that breaks a sibling relationship.
I think so. I think silence can be helpful here. There's a bigger question though. I mean, one, obviously, right, that you get what you pay for sometimes, right?
Yeah.
If you get a cheap TV and you keep trying to repair it, that's not DIY work, right? You need a professional, otherwise you're gonna electrocute yourself. And we all know that's gonna come by, it's gonna make things awkward for the wife, right? But I think
yes.
there's a question that we aren't addressing.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get to the bathroom. Did the doors disappear?
Oh, is this another missing door situation?
I think this might be another missing door situation. I think if they're not going to pay for a full TV, they might not pay for a permanent door. And I think that this person might even...
They might not repair something in front of a door, like if there's an issue, if something has broken.
Yeah.
Or if it's... There's lots of opportunities here if you're not willing to even buy a new TV.
Well, and look, and if OP is not embarrassed enough to say that they pissed on the carpet, and they're still saying there's some unknown reason they couldn't go to the bathroom, I feel like there's something they're hiding there, something they're trying to protect, maybe. So I think it might be them trying to protect Janine a little bit more. And I think I want to give Janine some benefit of the doubt, but it's not looking good for her.
All right, let's look at the comments. Top comment. Not the a-hole. If you weren't meant to pee there would have been a toilet closer.
100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. No access to a toilet means that they're okay with toilet activities happening anywhere. Next comment is, not the a-hole. If the layout of their home was too complicated for you to reach the bathroom before you had an accident, that's on them. Janine's husband also should have known better and cleaned up the puddle before attempting to fix the TV. So kind of in the same vein of what we already, stated.
Yeah,
really, this is negligence on the husband more than it is an act of maliciousness from OP.
Yeah, like everything in the world needs to be designed like Disneyland, where you can go like 15 feet and there's always a bathroom or a trash can or a bed. And if you don't design your house like that and you have company over, that's really on you.
Yeah, I agree. Next story. Am I the a-hole for hiring a pollination technician? Twice? Ooh, do you know about the pollination technicians?
I don't. I'm curious.
I am, I've heard of these guys. I'm not totally familiar with them. But I think they help people with their reproductive activities.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's what I thought it was. I didn't want to say that or guess that, but
Yes, okay, so this is where we're at. Okay. My husband, EM, has always wanted a big, happy family. I, YAF, am busy trying to find the perfect grilled cheese sandwich. Keeping the cows happy, turning the milk into cheese and butter, and milk bread. I've gone through 4 stoves. It's all very time consuming, and I don't have a map or list to follow like he does. He has an actual list he crosses off. I thought the pollination technician was a perfect option, so I surprised him with the deluxe package and kept him in spaghetti. Twins! When our twins became toddlers, he asked if I wanted to try for a baby. I agreed, but he only wanted to do it in the dumpsters and bushes, so I called up the technician again. And if I'm very, very honest, I had 3 books on the bestseller list, and I was so close to unlocking the secrets of the cheese. Another deluxe package, this time with an infant... Sorry, the grammar of the post is a little off. This time with an infant's life stage, which I hadn't seen before. Who knew that was even possible? Science, I tell you. Well, that was days ago, and he hasn't spoken to me since. He keeps attacking me and has almost died of overexertion 3 times. It's really not good for him in his condition. He hates the 2 mannies I hired. He hates the butler. He hates the fact I redecorated the house. He even declared he hates me and grilled cheese too. So, dear readers, am I the a-hole?
It's a lot here.
There is a lot to process in this one.
I'm a little confused because some of the grammar from this New York Times best-selling author is a little confusing. So let me see if I can work back. This woman, correct?
Yes. Young adult female.
Young adult female. Okay. Oh, I thought Yaf was her name. Whoops. All right. So this woman and her husband want to have kids.
Yes.
She is too busy.
Making the perfect grilled cheese.
Yes. So, wait, is the professional pollinator, was this a male or a female? Because I'm trying to figure out, like, who received the services of the professional?
I believe the young adult female received the services.
Okay, so she received services the first time, has twins.
Yes.
Partner still wants more. She receives services again, has another baby. Now partner's upset?
Well, yes, but the baby has a weird infant life stage.
So a baby. I mean, I get it. Babies are weird. Again, nobody should have children ever. But, like, I don't know. I feel like the husband is getting... Right? He wanted kids. And now he has kids. What's the problem?
I do have to kind of agree. I mean, I think it goes too far when he said, like, when they really bury the lead when they say, like, he hates the Mannies, he hates the butler, he hates grilled cheese. Who hates grilled cheese? Is he lactose intolerant? Does he have celiac? Can he not have gluten? Is he vegan? Like, there's a lot of things going on here. I think that he may have underlying issues, and this is just a symptom of, a symptom of the problems in this relationship.
Yeah, and it looks like he's diverting frustration to a lot of other things around the actual problem. Look, let's be honest. This is a hard-working professional woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it looks like her husband wasn't able to accommodate, right? He wasn't able to work around her lifestyle. He wasn't able to get the job done. I think his frustration was with the fact that, he wanted kids and he couldn't do it.
All right. Well, let's look at the comments. The top comment is, not the a-hole. Anyone who hates grilled cheese is the ultimate a-hole, always. And I agree with that statement.
Even if he said it in, like, some misguided frustration, he went too far.
Yeah. All right. Next story.
Can I quickly? As always, he's wrong, she's right. Don't have kids, you should break up. That's just general guidelines that I think we've continued to follow today.
Yeah, I agree. All right. This one is apparently a classic. Okay, this has 2.5k upvotes. So, am I the a-hole for missing my child's birth to look at a gnome? How do you feel about that?
I'm conflicted. Because if there's two things about me that I don't like. They're children and gnomes.
Exactly. I thought you would like this one.
Oh boy. Yeah, okay, lesser two evils. Let's get into it.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for missing my child's birth to look at a gnome? I, young adult male, am a guitar player who likes to go busking for tips. Well, out one night, I met this cute girl who was a really generous tipper. We started chatting and really hit it off. Then we started dating. Then we started dating, and eventually she brings up the possibility of trying for a baby. I was thrilled! I literally jumped for joy when she showed me her positive pregnancy test. We were both super excited. She's constantly telling everyone we know about the baby. Then the day finally comes. We're hanging out in the living room, and she says, "The baby's coming," and runs to the bedroom. I was about to follow her in, but I was suddenly overwhelmed with a new desire. My mind was clouded with only one thought. Gnome. And they put this in bold. Bold gnome. Capital G gnome. We have this cheap plastic garden gnome in our backyard. For some reason, it felt like the fate of the whole universe was dependent on if I was going to look at this gnome or not. I knew what I had to do. I ran right outside. I stood right in front of that gnome and stared it square in the eyes. I was concentrating on the gnome for what felt like an eternity until I saw my girlfriend come out of the house holding a newborn baby. She was furious with me for not being there for the birth of my own child. I tried to explain, but she just didn't understand it. Now she's making all these sad Simstagram posts about how she wishes she had a responsible father for her baby. I've also noticed she's been searching for weird things online. There was a lot of stuff like psychiatric clinics near me, gnome-related delusions, and how to cope with an insane boyfriend. Should I confront her about all this? How can I mend the relationship? Gnomes? Am I the a-hole?
I mean, it follows what we've been saying the whole time. Yeah, the man's the a-hole here. And what I mean by this is, again, you have set yourself up for failure by introducing a gnome into the equation. Why did you have one in your home? Where you live? Where you were planning to have a child?
Exactly.
Look, you get gnomes. They're strange, right? They seem innocent and, like, they're not going to harm you. But then you look at one for too long, and you play their strange bowling games, and you wake up 77 years later with a full beard and no recollection of who your family is.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm getting a little heated.
I know. Gnomes are a personal topic for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a lot.
I think that, there's something to be said for the fact that he had this fateful feeling that the universe depended on him staring at a gnome. I feel like that is definitely the gnome's presence pushing into the family, and really as maybe as like an act of goodwill, a show of remorse. This man should go out and take the gnome and like do one of those like TikTok things where you like smash the gnome. Like, like usually you smash like a game console, but this time like he can smash the gnome to show this girlfriend that he is going to be there for the rest of the child's life, and if anything gets in the way, then he'll take care of it properly.
Yeah, I mean, and how long ago was this post?
This post was posted 6 days ago.
Okay, actually then, if you don't mind commenting back, I have a great therapist who's helped me with my gnome-related trauma. Mm-hmm. Smashing a gnome was a big part of it. It's what led me to name my side band Smashing Gnomes. But yeah, I can reach out to the person, try to give them some help, or at least give them some contact information, because there are people out there, and gnomes. No one should have to live with that. And I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm sorry that it affected your relationship, but you need to get help.
Yeah, let's look at the comments, because I hope the comments agree with your point. Not the a-hole, but I would get a spellcaster over to your house ASAP to give your property a good cleanse. Sounds like your gnome might not have been a simple plastic yard ornament. Did you give him a good gift at the last Harvest Festival day? He might be out to get you now. That is a great point.
Yeah.
That could be more than just a traditional gnome. He could have a full-on spectral gnome problem on his hands.
Yeah, he could have a full infestation, and you gotta get a professional for that.
Yes. Next comment, no a-hole here. She has a right to feel upset that you missed such an important moment. However, she also needs to understand that sometimes we are compelled by forces beyond our control.
I get it. I mean, it's a philosophy thing, right? Like, through this person kind of with the philosophy that, like, we're all just playthings in this giant world, and that we are constantly, buffeted by the mouse of fate. But I think, the person should take a little more agency, be able to, be the one controlling their own life.
I agree. I think being compelled by forces beyond our control only gets you so far. Like, there is the matter of personal responsibility. Like, one time I was bit by a vampire, and even though one might call that forces beyond my control, there was part of me needed to accept that I was now a vampire and I needed to adjust to that lifestyle.
Yeah. This is the real world, right? You can't just live like things don't have consequences, and that, whatever happens to you happens to you.
Sometimes... Oh, yeah, go for it.
So you gotta take responsibility for your own actions, If... Not, of course, as we've already said, not if you piss somewhere, because that's just, that happens. Not if you get lost. Not if you have an uncanny attraction to death, but, it's your own home, You built it, you designed it, you might as well take care of it.
Yeah, I agree. So, we're on to our last story. Are you ready for our last story?
I'm ready.
Alright, for our final Reddit story. Am I the a-hole? My nanny let my infant starve till CPS took him away because she was too busy making cakes all day, so I drowned her. How do you feel about that title?
Well, defense, just because, kids,
Exactly.
Between kids and cakes, I might have to go for the cakes.
I think that title had a lot of information in it, just the title alone.
Yeah.
So, this might be a very complex situation.
Mm-hmm. Let's read on.
Alright, this is just a story. I, female young adult, got a call from CPS saying my son Asher, male infant, was being whisked away due to an awful case of neglect. It turns out my nanny had let him go hungry all day while she made cake after cake after cake. I was so sad for a few minutes, and I can't risk this happening with Lily, female teen, because she's my favorite kid. Anyway, I invited her to go swimming in my basement pool, then locked her in till Grim came. Am I the a-hole?
I think we know what's really going on here.
Oh, explain?
I think there's that one where two adults just really want to meet death.
Yeah,
I think the nanny knew this would happen, and I think you knew this would happen. Let's put all the cards on the table here, right?
Yeah. I think, you're definitely right. There has been a lot of thirsting for the Grim Reaper. He's very popular on Simstagram. I've seen a couple of his videos. He's actually very funny. But yeah, no, I think this is you might be right that this is another case of trying to get with the Reaper just by inviting him, inviting them to your home with and claiming it's for other reasons, for better reasons.
Like, you picked a nanny who only bakes cakes. What's that about,
Yeah, that is why with the need for so many cakes. I'm wondering.
Were the cakes for death?
Oh.
Because I could not stop for death, I brought him a cake instead.
So you think the nanny also wanted to do death?
I think I do. I think the nanny might have been using the child as a way to see death, and I think the parent also knew that this might be an outcome. So I don't think, even if this wasn't intentional, this might have been a subconscious thing,
Okay, yeah, I see.
Everyone above young adult yearns for death.
I see. You know what? I mean, he is. They are pretty good looking.
Hey, this is a lot of yearning for death talk. I might need to call my gnome therapist again.
All right. I have a surprise for you.
Oh.
It has an update.
Oh, love some updates. Let's go.
Alright, update. I also had to fire the maid because she threw away all the fresh chef food I had made for my toddler and 2 children to help themselves to, but she kept coming back, so I added her to my family and had her fix the hot tub in a lightning storm. Now there's a nice tombstone decorating my patio. Grim was kind enough to grill up some hamburgers after he reaped her soul.
This is how you do it. No notes.
No notes?
This person. Okay, I'm gonna go back a second. I apologize. I had some early assumptions that the poster might also have been interested in death, and that they were trying too hard by putting the child's situation where they would see them, right? But they had left them chef-made food, and yes, they for some reason care for the child. Good for them, you know. But they got death to a cookout. They got Grim at the grill.
Yeah, that actually is pretty dope.
That's impressive.
I think this might be a legend, a legendary poster.
And bringing the nanny into the family. Sorry, not the nanny, the maid. The nanny didn't deserve it. But bringing the maid into the family first, so that you can keep their tombstone on your property as a reminder. That's a power move. That is Godfather level planning and execution.
Tombstones do make like fantastic decorations too. I do love a good tombstone on my property. It adds a sense of historic value to the property. It gives this beautiful gothic air to the home. Truly, like, it is one of the most underrated decorations for your house that you can get.
Yeah, we have 4 of them in our backyard. I mean, 3 of them are gnomes that I killed on our property, but like, you know, they still count. True.
Yeah, no, they still can be beautiful pieces of art, even if the underlying corpse is a gnome.
And see, this is what I was saying earlier. You accented the yard with something that Death would appreciate. So they came on their own time. They came to a party. They didn't come on the job, you know?
Yeah, I definitely, like, Grim definitely does not grill hamburgers in their spare time for just anyone.
Right. This is master class.
Alright, let's look at the comments. Top comment, not the a-hole. That's a perfectly acceptable way to treat a nanny who did that.
I mean, I also agree, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cut and dry. Like, that's just the correct statement.
Like, yeah, like, look, we're not in the Paw Patrol city, right? We don't have other ways of dealing with this. You gotta get the job done, and this is what did it.
Obviously not the a-hole. Lock the next nanny in a room with your child to make sure they can't get distracted. I think that's a relatively well thought out plan. I mean, you know, maybe the problem for this nanny could have been solved had they preventively removed the stove from the house.
Yeah, that is a good point. I don't know. I would never trust a nanny in general. I mean, you already said that you're making the meals for the child anyway, right? So
that is fair.
But if you need someone to sit there and feed the kid, you know, because people don't understand how to eat, you know, we get it. I guess maybe. I think if you're gonna have it, it's about the best way you can do it.
All right, and that was Reddit Stories today with me and my eternal partner, Darling. Darling, how did you feel about today's Reddit Stories?
I thought they were fun. You know, I thought there was a lot of discussion on both sides. I thought we were pretty fair, and I would personally love the door back to my room.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I just forgot about that.
You've locked me in here to make internet content, and it's been a couple of days.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I will definitely add the door back right after we finish with this recording.
Okay.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching this video, and we will see you with a new set of Reddit stories in the future. Bye-bye!